Hello. So tonight's Into the Den has to start with a somber note. As is yesterday, uh, uh, yesterday, November 20th, was Trans Day of Remembrance, a a day to remember all of the lives that have been lost among the transgender community over the past year. And and on that and And at 11:37 the prior night, at Club Q in Colorado Springs, there was a mass shooting. I'm pretty sure you've heard about this. There were 5 people that died and 17 others that were wounded. I am I am transgender myself, and uh, and I wanted to share this is with you all just because it is uh, tran the struggle for trans rights in this country is evidently hitting a breaking point. A point in which the a point in which the rights and the liberties of trans people are going to be fought against with uh, with bullets and fisticuffs. Yes. The five vict uh, and it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. The Colorado Springs police have identified the 5 victims: Daniel Aston, Raymond Green Vance, Kelly Loving, Ashley Paw, and Derek Rump. These were not people who were at all malicious. 2 of these people were trans, and and it not only does it highlight the fact that our country is so accepting of violence towards such a marginalized community, but it high, but also, well, but also its incessant need to justify it. I'm sure you, what is it? I'm sure you've seen. I'm sure you saw people like Lauren Boebert and Kyle Rittenhouse tweeting about uh, tweeting about this event, this massacre, and and we hear that they have thoughts and prayers. The thoughts and prayers have worn out their welcome. They wore out their welcome when Matthew Shepard died, and at this point, it's just a stale meme. And so I want to before the end, and so before the and so before we actually start Into the Den tonight, I want to take a moment of silence. May the memories of these may the memories of the may the memories of the 67 trans people who have been lost in the past year be a blessing. But this flame never died. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody just a quick minute just to collect themselves and to just compartmentalize this as we talk about tonight's game. All right, all right. 3, 2, 1. Still have not retuned that thing. It's about to hug it out because that was a fail. That is a 5-3 victory over the 10th Bay Lightning, our first major test on the road in this season. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. I am your host, 100 Bex, and this game, like I said, this game was the first major test that we have had so far this season. Two other tests that you could have said that you could have made arguments for were like the were the Panthers in the third game of the season and the Leafs in the Leafs who we got shit rocked against. Their upcoming schedule is just like Lightning. They have a game on the road against the Panthers. Then they come home for 4 games against the Hurricanes, the Lightning, the Avalanche, and the Golden Knights. And then we go on the road against the Avalanche, the Coyotes. They're just happy to be there, and the Golden Knights. And then we come back home for the Islanders, the Kings, who are surprisingly good this year. The Blue Jackets, sure, that's a way up. The Panthers, the Jets. And then the last game that we have before Christmas, December 23rd, is a road game against the New Jersey Devils, who we are currently jostling for number 1 in the East again. First game in a massive gauntlet, starting off against against a team that won the Stanley Cup two of the past 3 times. Has made the Stanley Cup Finals three times in a row. And has one of the best goalies in the entire league against Tim. How are we gonna start this? Why do I start this game really terrible? I kind of fell asleep for a little bit in the first period. I didn't see the Nick Paul goal, but what I can tell you is that, oh my God, the Bruins look like garbage. The Bruins looked like straight dog doo. Oh, friggin' especially on that power play at the end of the period. We're tied 1-1 thanks to Andrei Vasilevsky letting in one of the softer long range goals that he's let in. Seriously, Krejci wasn't even at the face-off circles on that one. Face-off circles and you had no one in front of you. Oh, what's your excuse, Andre? But anyway, at the end of the first period, Eric Chernak goes to the box for interference, and that sounds really good because Eric Chernak is one of the Lightning's best defense. One that has is Victor Hedman, Mikhail Sergachev, Zach Gregor. Okay, he's not the best one on this team, but he's absolutely one of the best ones on. But he's absolutely one of the best ones on it. So he goes to the penalty box. So great. One of the key parts of their penalty kill is out of the game. Oh my God, our power play looks like straight dog dick. And the last 15 seconds of the period, someone please tell these people how to play, how to be on the power play. Our power play has been one of the most inconsistent parts of our game over the past few years, and you decide, you know what? I'm gonna slam right into Brusque, and DeBrusque says, "Oh, I'm gonna slam right into Brad Marchand." And Brendan Hagel takes the puck. I think it was Brendan Hagel. He takes the puck, goes pretty much right up to Omar's crease as time is winding down. 3, 2, 1. It's over. The period ends. Omar saves it anyway, but Brad Marchand gets 2 minutes for slashing him. His first penalty of the season so far. It is okay. It is insane that Brad Marchand was able to go this far into the season after he came back from injury without getting a single penalty. which he did, and that's kind of not great, especially when our power play looks awful, and now we have to start the second period with a minute of 4-on-4. We end up killing that off, and and honestly, I can't even tell if what happens after puck drop on the for the second period. I can't tell if that was just the worst period that I've seen in Andrei Vasilevsky have it in a while, or if his defense just decided to stop playing hockey. What I mean by this is that Pierre-Edouard Bellemare goes to the box for slashing. Great, a bottom six forward. You usually have those for the penalty kill. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare goes for slashing, and like the right in front of the crease in front of Andrei Vasilevsky is quite possibly the freest real estate in all of in not just all of Tampa, but probably the entirety of Florida. Quiet it down a little bit because my roommate just knocked to tell me to quiet it down. But considering that Florida is the 32nd and least expensive state to live in, which makes it the 18th most expensive. Honestly, that's probably not considering it's in the upper half of expensive states to live in. Maybe saying that it's that right in front of Vazzy's crease is the freest real estate in Florida probably isn't saying much. Anyway, Foligno just stands right in front of it. A shot bounces off Vasilevsky, and Nick Foligno just bats it in to put the Bruins up 2-1. 31 seconds later. You ever just hate NHL referees? Charlie Coyle takes a back post shot from Trent Frederick, who is on the left wing, by the way. Jim Montgomery decided, you know what, I'm gonna switch things up a bit. I'm just gonna put Zacha on the second line, move Hall down to the third right wing, and then move Trent Frederick over to the left wing. He's offside, his bad side. I mean, it's Trent Frederick. He has no bad side. But again, another goal in which Tampa just has no defense except Zach Bogosian pushes Charlie Coyle in a way that as he's getting the puck across the crease, as he's getting the puck across the line, the goal comes off the pad. So the refs at first just is called off, no goal. And then the review happens. We end up getting like 2 minutes of review, and in which Jack Edwards is talking about the refs completely embarrassing themselves in front of a crowd of 19,902 people or something like that. And standard Jack Edwards stuff. And lo and behold, it is a goal because the puck passed the line before the goal came off the peg. Not long afterwards, we get a pretty physical shift from the third line, and especially, Trent Frederick just slams himself right into the boards, and Corey Perry ends up going for high stick. Also, Frederick ends up going down the tunnel. And then he's coming back. Don't worry. He's a tough kid. Trent is a tough kid. Anyway, Corey Perry goes to the box for high sticking. And honestly, I think that Brandon Hagel might just be one of the best penalty killers in the entire league. Or maybe just our power play is still not great. Either way, just is that dude was a nuisance, and I don't want to say it made things fun to play against, but come on, it's always fun when you get just a little bit of pushback, just to crush their hopes and dreams even further. But the real treat of the real treat of the night after Brendan Hagel pretty much single handedly kills the Corey Perry high sticking penalty. Patrice Bergeron. I am wearing his jersey right now. My favorite player in NHL history. A player that has been with the Bruins longer than I have been watching, since before 2010, 2011. Yes, I started watching during that Cup season. My favorite player, not just in the NHL, not just on the Boston Bruins, but my favorite NHL player of all time. Of all time. The Devils, I just got a notification saying that the Devils won their 13th in a row. So great. That's going to make that December 23rd game a lot more fun. Anyway, where was I? Patrice Bergeron, my favorite player of all time. On a, but the sort of the thing that Andy Brickley was saying before this happened was 8 Bruins players have points tonight. None of them are on the top line of Bergeron, Marchand, and DeBrusk, and they decided to all kill that narrative in one fell swoop. With Bergeron with the zone entry, passing it back to DeBrusk, who chips it up for Marchand, who catches it, drops it for himself, and chips it up over Vasilevsky. But it is important that Bergeron got that drop off, because that ends up being his 1,000th point in the NHL. Not only putting him in absolutely elite company with the in terms of most points among active players. As Patrice Bergeron joins Sidney Crosby, Alexander Ovechkin, and Evgeny Malkin, Andrei Kopitar, and Eric Stahl as the only players in the league right now that have 1,000 points. To be fair, Steven Stamkos is getting close. He has 993, but not only does Patrice Bergeron become one of 7 active players that have 1,000 points. Actually, I think it's more than 7. Nicholas Backstrom, that's the one that I was forgetting. Nicholas Backstrom also with 1,000 career points. Although, to be fair, he's kind of injured to the point where he might not play anymore, but still. One of 8 active players or 8 players who haven't retired yet that have 1,000 points. But that's not the only thing that puts that Bergeron is part of. Bergeron is also one of only 4 Bruins players all time to have 1,000 points, and he may climb up to third all time in Bruin. He's going to climb up to third all time in points, because number one is Ray Borg. One is Ray Borg with 1,506. Number 2 is Johnny Busick with 1,339. And number 3, Phil Esposito with 1,012. And Bergeron just scored number 1,000 tonight. What a wonderful, wonderful man. I swear to God. Bergeron is like the NHL's equivalent of Andrew Luck if Andrew Luck just never got injured until he couldn't play anymore. One of the best, but one of the most hardworking, and above all, one of the most kind-hearted gentlemen on the ice. Just, I love this man. I love rooting for this team. But if I don't move on from here, I'm never going to move on. And so we get, so let's go to the last note that I have for the second period. Vladislav Nemesnikov, what the hell are you doing, my guy? You trying to bat the puck into the net while you're pretty much just holding your stick above your head, like you're Johnny Depp, proudly proclaiming that he has a jar of dirt. Obviously that goal is getting called back, and we go into the third period. On Matt Grizzlick goes for Matt Grizzlick goes to the box for tripping. That's never a good thing that you want to do. Thankfully, our late penalty kill is just smoking it. And considering the fact that Derek Forward is still like weeks away from being able to play again, I'd say that we're doing fantastic with it. Anyway, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare goes for tripping again, and DeBrusque feeds it pretty much right past Vasilevsky. Like we always talk about like cross ice passes to one time, and it was like across the crease. This was literally like almost through the crease, and Pastas is right there at the bottom hash marks to catch Vasilevsky undercommit, not undercommitting, but not there yet to put the Bruins up 5. Now, what could possibly go wrong from everything? Now the Bruins had already started this game kind of in the hole. We ended the first period tied 1-1, but we were getting outshot 14-7, and holy crap, it's surprising that we weren't being outshot 20-3. That like the Bruins had a garbage first period on look back, and they decided, hey, remember that? We're gonna do that again. And Tomas Nosek, in a clearing attempt, just completely turns it over and puts it right on Rudolph Spalser's stick for him to score and put and close the gap to 3. Wow, strange. Let's not have that happen. Doyle ends up going for slashing, and Nick Paul ends up scoring his second of the night off a dinger off the far post. It's 5-3. What the hell are we doing? There's 9.5 minutes left in the game, and we just let this team get within 2. This team that can very nearly score at will. So obviously, Jim Montgomery is pissed, and he calls a timeout, and because of course he does, and that kind of just wakes up the Bruins that they start playing in their normal Bruin dominance. And we're into the 4.150 final 5. Tampa pulls Vasilevsky, then they put him back in, and then they pull him out again, and with a minute 15 left, and it doesn't matter because that Nick Paul goal ended up being the last one of the game. And Bruins cleaned it up 5. This was a fun game. This was a very fun game, and I am very happy that I was able to watch Patrice, my favorite player's 1,000th career point. But the way that we played the first period and the way that we played the first half of the third period, it's another thing of like all right, we're going on a really tough we're going on a really tough stretch here. Let's not have that happen again. I know that Florida is kind of like one of those things like, it's Florida, who cares? They're going to be frauds anyway. President's Trophy curse, remember? Yeah, well, currently we're the front runners for the President's Trophy, guys. But even still, Bruins, you got to clean it up. You got to clean up your play in the first period. Granted, second period, some of the best hockey we've played all season. And not just some of the best hockey we played all season, some of the best second period hockey we played all season. A period that we have since I started covering this last season been one of our weakest spots. It's just we never come out of the first intermission looking good. This is the first time that it actually worked. Now let's keep that up and fix what we did in the first period. because this division is kind of cutthroat, and you do not want to fall behind. Anyway, that's gonna be it for tonight's episode of Into the Den. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like, click subscribe if you really like. Up there's my most recent video. Oh, and down below is my twitch.tv just in case you want to find me streaming. I've been doing a blind playthrough of Monster Hunter World, and honestly, one of the best controlling Monster Hunter games out there. That's the point. I will see you guys on